Hello, welcome to the series on how to use Nakama with PhaserJS. Throughout these 6 episodes, we're going to be creating a simple online tic-tac-toe game called XOXO. We're going to be using PhaserJS for our client, which is a great open source JavaScript game engine created by Rich Davey. For our multiplayer backend, we'll be using Nakama, an open source game server created by Heroic Labs. Our final game is going to look something like this. A player will be able to search for an opponent and play a quick game of tic-tac-toe. A very simple game, but it will allow us to look at the core aspects of Nakama and how a multiplayer backend works. Throughout the series, we'll cover authentication, authoritative matches, and matchmaking. Everything to get you up to speed to creating your very own online game. This episode, we're going to set up our project so we're ready to start developing. First step is to install Nakama, and the way we're going to be doing that is through Docker. Docker can vary in the way you install it depending on your operating system, so you can find links in the description below to match your system. Once you have Docker downloaded, it's time to install our Nakama server. Let's start by cloning the Nakama template project to get us up and running quickly. Nakama supports 3 languages for developing your game: Go, Lua, and TypeScript. All concepts we're going to be discussing are valid across all 3 languages, but for this tutorial, we're going to stick with TypeScript. After cloning the repo, let's remove all of the files that we don't need and run npm install. Then we can transpile the TypeScript into JavaScript using npx tsc. To start Nakama, we can use this command to get everything running. Depending on your operating system, you should see Nakama's Docker image being installed. Great, now we have Nakama installed and running. Let's focus on getting PhaserJS ready. PhaserJS is a JavaScript game engine, meaning we can include it in any web app, by either adding it in our script tag or by installing it by npm. It's worth noting that PhaserJS is just a script file. It's best practice to use an existing JavaScript framework with PhaserJS. For this project, I've opted to use Svelte as our framework of choice. This means that we can add PhaserJS on top of Svelte and access all of PhaserJS's game engine inside our Svelte app. We can add PhaserJS script tag to our index.html, and that's it. Now we have access to PhaserJS anywhere in our app. Running our web app locally is as simple as typing in npm run dev in our terminal. This will spin up a local development server where we can start testing and creating our game. Now that we have everything installed, we can actually begin building our game. Next episode is all about building the UI in PhaserJS. There are links in the description that will guide you to the right place, including the Nakama documentation, the GitHub repo, and also the Nakama template project. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode.